What's up? How's she going?
This week on iTunes, if blue is your favorite color, then you're in the right place. It's a playlist of blues and blues-adjacent ditties from Scott Parsons, Joey Kitson, Brian J. Dunn, and more. Plus, you ain't got blues without got blues, and a chat with founder Chris Rumbanis. He's ready, PEI. Let's get her done! How's she going, Prince Edward Island? I am your host, Adam Michael James, and you are listening to the November 7th, 2025 episode of the PEI Arts Award-nominated iTunes. This here is episode 98, and if you've seen my incessant posting around Island social media, then you know we're only 2 shows out from iTunes' 100th episode live over at the Trailside November 16th. I've been working me butt off for y'all to make this one hell of a celebration, and as goes with the territory of a wannabe variety show, lineup changes abound. Jorby is no longer on the roster, which I'm seriously bummed about, but this past week, Scott Parsons and Luca Hall threw their instruments into the ring, completing this listenable list of performers that also includes Todd McLean, Maxine McLennan, Julia Robichaux, Jay Dis, Nicolas Romero, and Nathalie Duguay. Tickets are only $30, which is not crazy expensive, and most of the proceeds will go to benefit the Cooper Institute, which has been advocating for democracy and human rights around here since 1984. I keep yapping about freedom versus fascism, so I figure it's time I take some sort of action, and you can help by coming to this show. Oh, I said most of the proceeds will go to the Cooper Institute, but I'm not keeping the rest of them. That chunk will be distributed amongst the aforementioned musicians as honorariums. Integrity still means something, damn it. Get your tickets at trailside.ca, the box office at 902-367-3311, and you can always pop into Back Alley Music on Queen Street to achieve same. Now, I did mention as this third season started a couple of weeks ago that we were going to explore what I've come to call genre shows. Instead of always pulling from the vast array of styles the island music scene has to offer in one episode, I thought it might be fun to hone in on specific styles more often, and Karen Pyra from Aging Disgracefully suggested blues. If one genre does it for you more than others, suggest one for an upcoming episode at amj@iletunes.ca or leave a text or voicemail on 902-807-4250. You can also post on the iTunes Facebook and Instagram accounts. A bit of a coincidence, and not one I'm railing against at all, is that this first bastion of blues is a fellow who's on board for the iTunes 100th episode live show at the Trailside on the 16th. Yes, there's that again. But I'm so happy to have this dude. He mentored with Gene McClellan and played with George Antoniak of Lougarou in the 60s and 70s, developing his folk blues style of guitar playing he came to call Rasticadian. Along the way, he taught creative drama classes to kids, studied radio broadcasting, and worked as a sound technician. This all led to his forming the group Jupiter Wise in 1993, which was named for a slave living on PEI who was sentenced to death by hanging for committing an assault in 1786. He was only spared that fate by a clergyman who stood up for him. And that certainly wasn't the first foray into incorporating island black history into his work that Scott Parsons would make. His latest is The Gates of No Return, released in 2022. We're going to go back a little bit further to 2018 and Scott's Darky's Hollow album, with the appropriately episode starting right from the start. This is Scott Parsons on iTunes.
People talking about living, people talking about love, people talking about everything under the stars above, under the stars above. Hey, don't let them get to you, don't let them stand in your way. You'll be fine when you make up your mind, your heart will know the way, your heart will know the way. Trust in the Great Spirit, walk the path with heart. No one said it was going to be easy right from start. Trust in the Great Spirit, walk the path with heart. No one said it was going to be easy right from the start. Now the long day is over, time to lay down your head. You sleep tight in your bed tonight. Be thankful for what you have. Be thankful for what you have. Hey, don't let them get to you. Don't let them stand in your way. You'll be fine when you make up your mind. Your heart will know the way. Your heart will know the way. Trust in the Great Spirit. Walk the path with heart. No one said it was going to be easy right from the start. People talking about living, people talking about love, people talking about everything under the stars above, under the stars above.
If I told you that I died a little bit inside every time you walked away, would you stay? What if I told you that I felt, pretended I was well every time you held her hand? Would you understand? Would you understand that I love you? Told you that the moon that you promised to be true when we danced in her blue light. Did you forget that night? How could you forget that night? 'Cause I love you. all alive.
That's the Amanda Jackson Band on isletunes with What If I? Amanda teamed up with Dale McKee and Todd McLean, who is also featuring in the isletunes 100th episode live show at the Trailside on the 16th, plug, and they released their debut album Fire in the Blue in 2017. They were certainly on fire in that they not only scored a Music PEI award for the effort, but an ECMA nomination, plus one of its tracks saw them rank as a top 10 finalist for the 2018 CBC Searchlight competition. That all led to their 2020 album Ocean, which you just heard a cut from. Just how many careers have started on the Confederation Center stage around here? Probably more than we know, including this one. Joey Kitson starred in a high school production of Bye Bye Birdie on those boards, which led him to forming the Rock Island Blues Band, and then moving on to Rollins Cross, which was founded in 1988. Joey would record 6 albums with Rollins Cross before returning to the Confed Center stage to perform in the jukebox shows Canada Rocks and British Invasion. Starting in 2009, Joey performed in a seasonal musical tribute show devoted to Stan Rogers, the legendary maritime folk musician, and in 2014, this inspired Joey to record Stan, an album of songs written by Stan Rogers and released in support of the tribute show. Here's a selection from it that's bluesy enough it's got the word in the title. This is Blue Nose, as recorded by Joey Kitson, here for you on isletunes.
Once again with the tide, she slips her line, turns her head and comes awake. Where she lay so still there at Privateer's Wharf, now she quickly gathers way. She will range far south from the harbor mouth and rejoice with every wave. Who will know the blue nose in the sun? Feel her bow rise free of Mother Sea in a sunburst cloud of spray that stings the cheek while the rigging wheels speak of sea miles gone away. She is always best under full press, hard over as she'll lay. And who will know the blue nose in the sun? In the sun. That proud fast queen of the Grand Banks fleet, portrayed on every dime, knew hard work in her time, hard work in every line. The rich man's toys of the Gloucester boys with their token bit of cod, they snapped their spars and strained to pass her by, but she left them all behind. Now her namesake daughter remains to show what she has been, what every schoolboy remembers and will not come again. To think she's the last of the Grand Bank schooners that fed so many men. And who will know the blue nose in the sun? The blue nose in the sun. cries of the Gloucester boys with their token bit of cod. They snapped their spars and strained a passerby, but you left them all behind. 'Cause you not take wing like a living thing, child of the moving tide. See your past with grace from the water's face, with clean and quiet pride. Our own tall ship of great renown still lifts unto the sky. Below the blue nose in the sun. Below the blue nose in the sun. Below the blue nose in the sun.
Blue Nose, a song written by Stan Rogers and recorded by Joey Kitson on his album Stan on isletunes. Coming up, Devilish Punch Bowls, a band of rubber boots, and an in-depth chat about the musical history of blues aficionado Chris Rumbanis. This next glut of historical accuracies may not be musical, but they are specifically island in nature. And just to make sure they don't get buried in our rich red soil like your average potato, I've once again combed through islandnewspapers.com to bring you this crop called This Week in PEI History. November 8, 1932, the Charlottetown Guardian reported that two drunks were given a choice: pay a $5 fine plus costs, or serve 10 days in jail. They took the days, the article revealed. At first, I thought that was a hell of a way to save $5, but then I did the math, and in 2025 dollars, that's $111. So maybe not as foolish? Mind you, this was during Prohibition, when the sale of alcohol was prohibited, don't you know? And at this spot in the timeline, that policy wouldn't be repealed for another 16 years. November 10th, 1941. Once again in the Charlottetown Guardian, a piece ran describing the fact that an L.W. Goodwin, who had served as the vice president of the Charlottetown branch of the Canadian Legion, had spoken to pupils of Queen Square School in the run-up to Remembrance Day. That his words are just as appropriate now sucks all to hell, but it's all the more reason why it's important to repeat them. Quote, Kaiserism of 1914 is replaced by Hitlerism of 1939. They did yesterday and they do today represent all that is despotic, all that is tyrannical, all that is unjust, all that is cruel, and they have demonstrated by their foul actions that the same old bar sinister is still emblazoned on their crooked shields. The storm is not yet over, Goodwin continued. The worst may be yet to come, but we know that we shall conquer. But be that day near, or be it in the distant future, we must at all times close our ranks and present a united front to the enemy. And so today the Legion would ask you to work, to save, to remember the sacrifices of our immortal dead and the glorious living to the end of the journey. Preach, brother. November 13th, 1885. The Daily Examiner was chuffed to announce that they had been shown a turnip which weighed in at 24 pounds, 2 ounces. It had been grown by a George M. Price. The vegetarian factoid that followed involved a 39-pound cabbage that had been grown by Mr. Scales of St. Eleanor's. Fitting that the guy's name was Scales, right? But would you really want to be around anyone who ended up eating 39 pounds worth of cabbage? I mean, would you?
Hi, this is Sarah Siegel-Lazar, and you're listening to isletunes.
of a fiddler's green. High up on the sea, I wanna be, I wanna be. High up on the waves is where I will spend the rest of my days. High up on the sea, I wanna be, I wanna be. High up on the waves is where I will spend the rest of my days.
They don't call her the femme fatale of folk for nothing. Sarah Siegel Lazar on isletunes, going back to her 2015 album 2 If I See. That's the track Whence He Came. Here's whence Sarah came. She cut her musical teeth performing in dive bars in New York City. Not surprising for a girl who tried to get a radio station to play one of her songs when she was 9. Sarah now splits her time between PEI and Montreal, and you may not know that she's also an accomplished playwright. In fact, she co-founded yearly theater event the Island Fringe Festival. Oh, and add making short films to her CV while you're at it. Since there's all this focus on blues in this episode, here's where it came from. The genre got started among African Americans in the U.S.'s Deep South in the 1860s, developing its style with the use of blue notes, usually thirds, fifths, or sevenths, flattened in pitch to create that sound. It's said that the term blues may have come from the term blue devils, which either meant melancholy and sadness or intense visual hallucinations that can accompany severe alcohol withdrawal. I love when unplanned synchronicities come together. PEI's geographical Devil's Punch Bowl in South Granville, which is rather between Hunter River and Kensington as the crow flies, is a steep gorge with hiking trails that was apparently used to stash alcohol during Prohibition. Then there's the musical Devil's Punch Bowl, who describe themselves as a gothic, anarcho skate folk band. The bow that wraps it all up is that the outfit, led by Chris Gallant, incorporates blues into their work to the point that more than one of their singles has blues in the title. This isn't one of them, but it's the 4th single they've released so far this year, and I'm hoping this prolific period is a signal that another album is coming. Devil's Punch Bowl on isletunes with, get ready for it, Left My Heart in San Francisco but Lost My Shoes in Tokyo. It's all part of this world-traveling
isletunes rock block.
gone in peace. Then Gianni back to the car, made friends at Johnson Gun, Piovani to my boots. Well, surging laugh and black the swine, but she still that yes all day. Machine, je drop mon verre dedans, je max out ma bed, puis won't be back again. Well, sir, dis bien que je la laisse rouler. Puis là, j'ai back to powder.
I did say world traveling. By way of Nunavut on the way to the Acadian region of PEI, that was Aubin puis la SCB on iTunes with their most recent single out in August, Les Machines. Riel Gallant was part of the dirty Acadian rock and roll band's first iteration in Iqaluit, but Riel brought the party here, which led to their acclaimed 2022 album Eusklel, which brought the Music PEI's Prix de l'Acadie Award. Given that this machine-tooled song you just heard was the second single post-Eusklel, am I to understand that we're entering a new Aubin era? J'espère là. We might as well keep globetrotting, though don't expect me to balance a basketball on my finger, as a tendency in the States heavily influenced this next performer's sound. It worked the other way around too. While Brian J. Dunn was going to college in Mississippi, he brought the sounds of the Maritimes to that area's residents, creating a kind of fusion you don't ordinarily get, and I would say blues worked its way in there too. Working a love of telling stories through song that he cultivated while playing in Life of Riley with renowned storyteller Michael Pendergast in the 90s, Brian made the brave choice to share his bittersweet tale of his wife's death in 2011 and the joy he still received from his 3 children throughout his 2014 album Death Do Us Part. I can't help thinking this calypso-inspired rocker from it came right out of the bayou, along with its signature bluesy influence. This is Brian J. Dunn with Guns Below on iTunes.
Have I been here before? Was it a dream? Smoking perfume, peaches and cream. Down the stairs, in through the door, to a backlit room, settle the score. I waited for you, but you never showed. Now there's money on the table, guns below, yeah. showed. Now there's money on the table, guns below, yeah. There's a guy at my back, 2 more upstairs, one at the table, sitting back in his chair. I threw my hands in the air, I yelled, somebody's coming. I pulled a gun from my shoe, they never see me coming. I waited for you, but you never showed. Now there's money on the table, the guns below, yeah. Tune. Here's the end of the story. Here's a lesson for you. It's okay to be sorry. I waited for you, but you never showed. Now there's money on the table, guns below. I waited for you, you never showed. Now there's money on the table, guns below, yeah.
Coming in guns a-blazing, that's Brian J. Dunn on isletunes with Guns Below. Despite the length of time since the release of the album that song is contained on, you can always catch Brian on stage, even in the next few days. But we'll get to that. Still to come, Al Tuck trades the dance music of the 90s for country blues, the rubber boot band Rubber stamps where they're from, and Chris Rumbanis tells us how he drew up the blueprints as far as blues on the island is concerned. I know we've already got Christmas merch in stores, and we're likewise being pelted with holiday commercials. Slow your roll, Santa! We've still got plenty of November in front of us, and plenty of non-Yuletide stagecraft to enjoy, which I'm here to tell you about in Gigs to Dig across Prince Edward Island. Saturday, November 8th, Lucy Farrell is with the Surrey Seagulls at the Surrey Show Hall. Also on the 8th, Voices of Remembrance, featuring Confederation singers, PEI Legion Choir, and PEI Regimental Band. All that is happening at the Confederation Center Memorial Hall. And finally on the 8th, Richard Wood, Celtic Rhythms in Motion. That's at New London Community Complex, of course, in New London. Sunday, November 9th, Hope Happens Here fundraiser with Absolute Losers, Lawrence Maxwell, Kelly Mooney, and more. That's at the UPEI Performance Hall. Also on the 9th, Celebrate Island Women, a women's network of PEI fundraiser featuring Carly Howell, Tanya Davis, Amelia May, and more. That's at the Trailside Music Hall. Thursday, November 13th, it's Island Jazz, Island Art Rock with Ivan Garnica at Baba's Lounge. Looking into next week, Brian J. Dunn. Remember, I told you we were going to come back around to him. On the 14th, he is at the Whiskey Pub. Also on the 14th, 2 Hours Traffic plays with Green Eyes Witch Hands at the Trailside. November 15th, the former Blue Crystals are at Park Royal United in Charlottetown. And again on the 15th, Acoustic East Coast featuring Bayfield String Quartet and Cameron McDuffie. They are all playing at St. Paul's in Charlottetown. And on the 15th at the Trailside, Amanda Jackson and Route 225 take the stage. The next night at the Trailside, you knew this was coming, November 16th, it's isletunes 100th episode live with Scott Parsons, Todd McLean, Maxine McLennan, Julia Robichaud, Jay Dis, Nicolas Romero, Natalie Duguay, and Luca Hall. It is all benefiting the Cooper Institute. And don't forget, Baba's Lounge holds an open mic every Wednesday at 9 p.m., hosted by the one and only Kinley.
Hey everybody, my name is Dylan Menzie and you're listening to isletunes.
Can't even ride
nipping, just tucking, with a track going back to 1994 on isletunes, Country Blues by Al Tuck and No Action. See what he did there? The Summerside native started out by touring with the Confederation Center Boys Choir, and when he was 18, he headed down to Halifax, where he eventually played in the band's Columbia Recording Artists and Bluegrass Lawnmower. Once he formed his own aforementioned band, he found himself on the same bill with Soundgarden and Nine Inch Nails before recording several solo records. His most recent work is Water, Blood, and Whiskey, which came out in 2023. Given 1979 is so heavily associated with disco, it's dying gasps anyway, still some great grooves came out of that. It's hard to believe that here on the island, on the St. George's Road out of Cardigan, a band was forming that is still kicking it 46 years later. Plagued by the mud that famously accompanies our spring thaws, these guys wore rubber boots while performing, and that's why they're called the Rubber Boot Band. Over the years, these fellows have played in cow stalls, dories, and the beach, in addition to the usual suspects of bars and community halls. In 2009, they finally committed some of their original works to CD, including the Cardigan song, which the Eastern Graphic deemed the official anthem of Kings County. That's not the one I'm going to play, is why be typical? Call it a little of those country blues Al Tuck talked about. This is the Rubber Boot Band with We're From the Maritimes, as is isletunes.
They can saddle us with taxes and take our rights away. The kids, they're in Alberta in search of better pay. Cut off our unemployment, give us tax evasion fines, but they'll never kill us down east, 'cause we're from the Maritimes. New Brunswick, Nova Scotia, Cape Breton and PEI. We're the people of the Maritimes who managed to get by. We're still out there fishing, we're putting good crops in the soil. We make the very finest moonshine, so Alberta, you can shove your oil. We'll go back to driving horses when we go Sunday pitching woo. We'll bring the schooners back rum running, yeah, and we'll have a snort or two. We'll be dancing every Saturday beneath the candles' glow, as we need no amplifiers to put the fiddle to the bow. New Brunswick, Nova Scotia, Cape Breton and PEI. We're the people of the Maritimes that managed to get by. We're still out there fishing, we're putting good crops in the soil. We make the very finest moonshine, so Alberta, you can shove your oil. We'll go back with axe and bucksaw and cut our winter's wood, and raise our faces to the wind, and we'll breathe air they never could. We'll be dancing every Saturday beneath the candles' glow, as we need no amplifiers to put the fiddle to the bone. New Brunswick, Nova Scotia, Cape Breton and PEI, where the people of the Maritimes will manage to get by. We're still out there fishing, we're putting good crops in the soil. We make the very finest moonshine, so Alberta, you can shove your oil. And they'll never kill us down east, 'cause we're from the Maritimes. No, they'll never kill us down east, 'cause we're from the Maritimes.
Making galoshes all the rage, the Rubber Boot Band lets us know that we're from the Maritimes on isletunes. Blues is not typically a genre that one associates with Prince Edward Island, at least it wasn't before Chris Rumbanis got his hands on us. With a mom who sang big band in Detroit in the 40s and a dad who was proficient on the harmonica, it's not surprising that the blues in Chris's DNA asserted itself sooner than later. He's been in more bands than you can shake a Fender Mustang at, and he's still keeping the blues alive here every Saturday, except summers, with his Got Blues shows at the Salvador Dali. Dig up some of these blues clues as Chris Rumbanis sits for the isletunes microphones. Now, one of PEI's nicknames is the Emerald Isle, but thanks largely in part to this man, the province often takes on a blue tone as well. Realtor, sound engineer, and former letter carrier, this fellow has been delivering straight-up blues from tip to tip for over 4 decades. And if we're going to touch on that genre in an episode, then it would be downright sinful to not put a microphone in front of this guy. So thanks to the magic of Zoom, it's time to welcome Chris Rumbanis up in here. Welcome, Chris, and thank you so much for having this chat with me.
Thank you so much for having me. Really appreciate it.
It's great to have you. So you grew up in North Bay, Ontario. Were you drawn to the blues already in childhood, or did your affinity for the genre come later?
Well, my dad listened to a lot of blues and jazz and stuff. So on a Sunday, we had one of those old record players where he'd put like 6 records on, and then he'd flip them over, and that would be our Sunday. And then Ed Sullivan would come on. And then I discovered the Beatles, and then discovered on blues that these guys actually, a lot of the stuff they were doing was done by black guys in America, before they did it. So,
if I have my info right, you came to PEI in 1973, and
I went out west in 1973. Went out to British Columbia, and I worked out there. That's when I first started playing in bars, like professionally. Our first gig was at the Karamias Hotel in Karamias, BC.
When did you come to the island?
January 23rd, 1980.
A day that sticks out in your head. You played your first island gig at Dundee Arms in 1980, is that right?
Yep.
Do you remember that show? And was the experience a springboard for you at all?
Well, it was kind of a funny experience because I was going through, when I was out west, I was kind of into abusing substances. And then when I moved here, I just wanted to get away from that whole scene. So I was drying out and just getting off of everything, and plus the 2 children in tow. And so I just the first gig in there was nerve-wracking. Actually, it was scary because I sat there. And actually, what happened was really funny. I played one song and then I started that song again because I was so nervous. But after that, I was fine. I just kept going from there.
Now, the number of bands you've been involved with since then, I could use up the whole episode mentioning them all.
There's quite a few.
The Rubber Boot Band, Undercover, Longshot, right?
Longshot, yeah.
And of course, the Blueprints. Now, does any one group stand out for you? And was there one that you got more out of than any other one?
They're all fun. Yeah, every one of them was fun in its own way, Like some of them were country rock bands, and some of them were rock bands, and some of them were dance bands and wedding bands. And then the Blueprints was kind of a different direction because I got sick of doing the country tune of the week, And then I just was walking up the street one day up University Avenue, and Reg Balla, we've known each other since 1981 when he came here. Anyways, he was walking up the street with a couple other guys, and he said, "Hey, Chris, you still playing?" And I had just got out of this other band about about 6 months earlier, and I wasn't planning on doing anything. So he said, "Hey, we need a bass player tonight. You want to come up?" I said, "Sure." So it happened to be, it was Craig Dodge and the Push Button Automatics was the name of the band. And I was with them for a while, and then that just morphed into, like, eventually that ended, and then a couple of guys followed me and wanted to do the Blueprints, so we did that.
And that was in 98?
Yeah. And that was Steve Love, he came up with the idea. Steve Love and Tony Argent. And Tony Argent's really amazing player. He played in Pepper Tree way back in the day in Halifax, back when April Wine was still in Halifax and all that. And Doug Bridges was the drummer. And so we played together for, it must be 6-7 years. And then we had a succession of different guitar players. Paul McLeod came in, Carrie Wynn McLeod's ex-husband. And then Mike Robichaud came in and played with Paul. And then it was just Mike, a three-piece with Mike and Roger Greaves came in. And the three of us, we had recorded an album back in 2006. That was fun. And we got nominated for the East Coast Music Award and all that
stuff. That's awesome. I'm speaking with Chris Rumbanis here on Isle Tunes. Now, as we got into earlier, you've been in tons of bands, and it's true that you've also featured on tunes by any number of other artists. Have you ever released any solo records? I saw on MySpace, actually, that there was a project called Chris From Where?
Oh, yeah. I had a couple of silly songs I put up, but I just never... I'm not really much of a songwriter. I like to interpret. Just, and I can help with song ideas and stuff like that and come up with, melodies and that kind of thing, but I've never been a lyricist.
Not everybody is that. I'm much more of a lyricist than I am a musician. So I've got
we should get together.
Totally. Oh my God, that'd be fun. I think it's fair to say that the act you're most identified with is Got Blues, especially because you've been performing under that name since 2009. How did that group come about, and what keeps you guys going for so long?
Well, with Blueprints, we were playing, we never missed more than a week or maybe 2 weeks with a gig for the whole time we were playing. So I decided it'd be a good idea to have an afternoon matinee. So I knew Steve Barber, who was running the, what was it at the time? The Globe, which is now John Brown's. And he said, "Okay, we'll try it. I don't think it'll work, but we'll try it." So the way we started it off was there was a bunch of blues bands around at that time. There was Scott Parsons, who's always been around. He's probably the biggest blues guy on PEI and always has been and always will be. He's amazing. He was the guy that's kind of inspired a lot of people to play the blues here. And but there was Plain Dirty Blues Band, who are still happening. They might have been under another name back then. I forget. And then there was 2 or 3 other bands too that were all blues bands. And so, the Waterman Blues Band, and that was where Amanda Jackson first came up. And so, what I did was I got all the blues bands and the Blueprints, and we just have a different band every week. And I would sit in with them, each band. I would sit in on guitar because I was just sit on guitar and play with them and sing a few songs and just play along with them, sort of thing. That lasted about, maybe 2 months. And it was hard to do because, they don't want me sitting there playing guitar with them. And it got into an ego fest and all this stuff. So then we decided maybe it's easier just to have a different guest every week. Just bring somebody in from one of those bands and keep the Blueprints playing and do that, and just have a different guest every week. So that's what happened. And then I had a t-shirt from Beerley's in Halifax, which is a blues bar over there. It said "Got Blues" with a question mark on the front, right? So Reg's girlfriend, Julia Sauve, she looked at that and said, why don't you call it Got Blues? And that's how we got the name.
Nice. I love that.
Yeah.
Now, in 2013, you guys put out an album, Got Blues Volume 1. What went into the decision to record some of your repertoire? And since there was a Volume 1, is there a Volume 2 on the horizon?
Well, I'd like to do a Volume 2. We just got to figure out when and how, sort of thing.
Right. Volume 1 is pretty much covers. Would you consider putting original tracks on a Volume 2 if that happened?
Yes. Yeah. I'd love to do that. Yeah.
Because I'm sure...
But we do that. We jam, and we sometimes just jam some tunes and we go, geez, we should do something with this. And just because we're learning 12 songs a week, it's kind of hard to fit anything in.
Yeah, and then on top of your lives and everything else, it is tough. Still, I think that would be a cool project.
Yeah, it'd be fun. Yeah,
That would be-
we'll do that someday. I hope.
I hope so.
I'm thinking about doing a solo thing too. I'm thinking of going back to when I was doing a lot of acoustic blues way back when, like back in the late 70s. And I thought I found an old set list and I thought I'd go back and maybe resurrect some of those and record them.
That would be very cool. Talk about coming full circle.
Yeah, it'd be fun.
It would be.
Maybe add some embellishments, but
Of course,
yeah.
What else haven't you done musically yet that you would like to?
Oh my God. At one point in time, it's maybe 5 or 6 years ago, I thought, I have all the recording gear in my house, right? So I thought maybe I'll try and do just an EP of all the genres that you can enter in the music PEI, like an instrumental one, a gospel one, a country one, a blues one, a rock one, a pop one, and just put them all out at the same time. But I never got around to it. It's just an idea, Well, so I'm hoping somebody hears this and does it.
Yeah, I know part of the reason I like doing this show is because I get to play DJ. It's nice to know that my broadcasting school experience and my radio experience is just sitting around collecting dust. But here, I want to turn the DJ reins over to you. So what off of Got Blues Volume 1 would you like people to hear?
There's a really nice song that Mike sings. It's really nice. It's called Isn't That So? And it's a cover of a Jesse Winchester tune. And it's kind of done a little more blues style than Jesse Winchester would have done it. And that's just a really cool tune.
Yeah, that's what we're going to go with then. I like that. Chris, it's been such a treat getting to talk to you. And y'all, if you have not been to the Salvador Dali on Kent Street to hear Got Blues on Saturday afternoons, well, you're missing the real treat.
This week we have, who do we have in? Graham Hunter from out in Montague's coming out. Really good guitar player.
Chris, never stop rocking, okay?
Yeah, thanks, man. I really appreciate giving me a chance to talk to people on PEI. Thanks, man.
And now the question I'm going to ask all of you Isle Tuners is, got blues? Well, oh yes, we do. And they're here on Isle Tunes.
Isle Tunes Rock Block.
Did he know what he was doing? Putting eyes into my head. If he didn't want me watching women, he'd left my eyeballs dead. Isn't that so? Isn't that so? You got to go where your heart says go. Isn't that so? Did he know what he was doing when he divided high and low? You got to plant that seed in the dirt, my friend, if you want the thing to grow. Isn't that so? Isn't that so? You got to go where your heart says go. Isn't that so? Well, it's a line of least resistance that leads me on, leads me on. Well, it's a line of least resistance that leads me on. Did he know what he was doing when he met that perfect vine? His own son got a reputation for turning water into wine. Isn't that so? Isn't that so? You got to go where your heart says go. Isn't that so? resistance that leads me on, leads me on. It's the line of least resistance that leads me on. Did he know what he was doing? Putting eyes into my head. If he didn't want me watching women, he'd left my eyeballs dead. Isn't that so? Isn't that so? You got to go where your heart says go. Isn't that so? You got to go where your heart says go. Isn't that so? You got to go where your heart says.
Myself, why get up? Why get up? Why get up? How can I get up? Why should I get up? This whole world gone crazy, think I've seen enough. I'm gonna sleep forever. Why get up?
Did the blueprints install a camera in my room? Because why get up is a question I ask myself every morning. Yeah, that's the ticket. That's from their 2006 Blues with a Feeling album, and it's part of the many projects that Chris Rumbanis has been involved with since turning this green province blue. That's episode 98 in the books. As for 99, well, I'm so busy getting ready for 100 that I'm going to cheat and do a retrospective of interviews from the first 2 seasons. Why? Because my podcast, my rules. If you have any burning urges to hear once again from certain interviewees, make those requests known via amj@isletunes.ca or 902-807-4250. You can also get in touch through the iletunes Instagram and Facebook pages, and if you're not already following on those, ask yourself the existential question, why aren't I? As of this recording, only 9 more days until iletunes' 100th episode live, and I can't imagine how many tickets are left, so go book yours ASAP at trailside.ca. You can also get them in person at Back Alley Music, and if you're still into phones, you can call the box office at 902-367-3311. I promise it's going to be a night that's going to etch itself into your ears and stay there, and how can it not with Jay Diz, Julia Robichaud, Luca Hall, Maxine McLennan, Natalie Duguay, Nicolas Romero, Scott Parsons, and Todd McLean on the freaking roster. Did that one in alphabetical order just for some fairness. Speaking of fairness, this is all a benefit for the Cooper Institute, which has stood for democracy, proportional representation, and human rights on the island for 41 years going. Kick-ass music and doing something to fight fascism while you're at it? Win freaking win, y'all! Show up, stand up, and party up! Musical contribution to the iletunes theme by Kaylin McCauley and John Hashem. Show concept by Rocky O'Neill. Coordination assistance by Jackie Robichaud. I'm Adam Michael James, and I gotta get out of here because I have at least 100 things to do before giving you episode 100. More like 100,000 things to do. But it's important because, in the words of Dutch diplomat Gijs de Vries, ultimately freedom and democracy are stronger than fear and tyranny. You know it. Thanks for listening, PEI. Season 7. And see us at the Trailside November 16th for episode 100.